Welcome to Lives of Note, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating stories of influential individuals who have shaped our world. I'm your host, Plutarch. Today, we're going to explore the life and legacy of Lou Reed, a musician, singer, songwriter, and poet who left an indelible mark on the music industry. Born on March 2, 1944, in Brooklyn, New York, Lou Reed would go on to become one of the most iconic figures of the 1960s and 1970s counterculture movement. Growing up in the suburban town of Freeport, Long Island, Lou was surrounded by the sights and sounds of a changing America. The post-war era had brought unprecedented economic growth and suburbanization, transforming the landscape of the United States. The Reed's neighborhood, with its tree-lined streets and single-family homes, was a microcosm of this shift. Lou's parents, Toby and Sidney Reed, a former beauty queen and an accountant, respectively, encouraged his early interest in music. At the age of 5, Lou began taking piano lessons, laying the foundation for a lifelong passion. As he entered his teenage years, Lou's musical tastes expanded to include jazz and folk, with artists like Miles Davis and Bob Dylan becoming significant influences. The iconic sounds of these musicians would later shape Lou's unique style, blending elements of rock, pop, and avant-garde music. In 1959, Lou enrolled at Syracuse University, where he studied English literature under the tutelage of Delmore Schwartz, a poet and professor who would become a mentor and friend. Schwartz introduced Lou to the works of avant-garde writers like James Joyce and T.S. Eliot, which had a profound impact on his literary style and musical approach. During this period, Lou began to develop his writing skills, experimenting with poetry and short stories. His fascination with the urban landscape and the human condition would later become a hallmark of his songwriting. The gritty, often brutal realities of city life, coupled with the intellectual fervor of the university environment, provided a fertile ground for Lou's artistic growth. The historical context of Lou's early years is also noteworthy, with the civil rights movement gaining momentum and the rise of suburbanization transforming the American landscape. These changes would later influence Lou's music, as he explored themes of identity, alienation, and social commentary in his work. The transition from adolescence to adulthood was not without its challenges, but it was during this time that Lou Reed began to forge the unique perspective and artistic voice that would eventually propel him to fame. As the 1960s unfolded, Lou's unique blend of rock, pop, and avant-garde sensibilities began to take shape. In 1965, he co-founded the Velvet Underground, a band that would become synonymous with the New York City art scene and the burgeoning counterculture movement. Alongside John Cale, Sterling Morrison, and Maureen Tucker, Lou created music that was both experimental and accessible, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in popular music. One of the most significant examples of Lou's innovative spirit during this period is the Velvet Underground's debut album, released in 1967. Produced by Tom Wilson and featuring a cover designed by Andy Warhol, the album's blend of noise, dissonance, and poetic lyrics helped to redefine the possibilities of rock music. Songs like Heroine and Sister Ray showcased Lou's ability to craft narratives that were both deeply personal and universally relatable. As the Velvet Underground's reputation grew, so did their influence on the broader music scene. Bands like the Stooges, the New York Dolls, and David Bowie cite the Velvet Underground as a key inspiration, and their music can be heard in everything from punk to new wave to alternative rock. In addition to his work with the Velvet Underground, Lou Reed also began to develop a solo career during the 1970s. Albums like Transformer and Berlin showcased his ability to craft songs that were both catchy and emotionally complex. The hit single Walk on the Wild Side from the Transformer album remains one of Lou's most beloved and enduring songs, its haunting melody and poignant lyrics continuing to captivate audiences around the world. As he once said, the idea of having a career, making money, and being famous, that wasn't what it was about. It was about creating something that would last. This commitment to his craft is evident in every aspect of Lou's work, from his music, to his poetry, to his visual art. As the 1980s unfolded, Lou Reed continued to release innovative and critically acclaimed albums, such as The Blue Mask and New Sensations. These records showcased his ability to craft songs that were both deeply personal and universally relatable, tackling themes like love, relationships, and social commentary. One notable example of Lou's continued creativity during this period is the song The Last Great American Whale from the album New York, which features a haunting melody and poignant lyrics that explore the decline of American culture. In addition to his music, Lou Reed also began to explore other artistic mediums during the 1990s. He released a book of photography, Emotions in Action, and collaborated with artist Laurie Anderson on a series of multimedia installations. This period also saw Lou's reunion with The Velvet Underground, which resulted in a one-off performance at the Fondation Cartier in Paris in 1990. Although the reunion was short-lived, it marked an important moment in Lou's career as he reflected on his past achievements and looked towards the future. One of the most significant examples of Lou Reed's innovative spirit during this period is his collaboration with director Robert Wilson on the opera Time Rocker. This avant-garde production featured a blend of music, theater, and visual art, showcasing Lou's ability to push boundaries and challenge himself as an artist. The opera's themes of time, space, and human existence were quintessentially Lou Reed and demonstrated his continued relevance and creativity well into the 1990s. He battled with addiction and health problems, and his music often reflected his inner turmoil. However, despite these challenges, Lou remained committed to his craft, continuing to create music that was both innovative and emotionally resonant. In 2003, Lou Reed released The Raven, a concept album inspired by the works of Edgar Allan Poe. This record featured a blend of rock, jazz, and classical music, showcasing Lou's continued ability to experiment and push boundaries. The album's themes of love, death, and transformation were classic Lou Reed and demonstrated his ongoing fascination with the human condition. As David Bowie once said, Lou was a master, and I'm not just talking about music. In 2013, Lou Reed passed away, leaving behind a body of work that is both deeply personal and universally relatable. That's all for today's biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.